Hey guys, in this week's episode of the Evolve Weekly, we're going to give you some tips and some tricks how to best perform a slide on your Evolve skateboard.
So when it comes down to sliding, it's a lot of practice and personal preference and a lot of feeling the board. So, you know, you're going to be practicing for a few days, a few weeks maybe, and then you're going to get a little bit better and better, and then one day it's just going to flick the switch and, you know, you're going to all of a sudden go, oh wow, I can do this. When I was learning sliding, you know, I spent a few weeks just getting a feel for the board, how it breaks away on corners, and, you know, basically getting a feel for getting that bit of a drift bit by bit, and more just sort of, you know, trying to hold the drifts a little bit longer and longer. And then, you know, you can get slide gloves and, you know, get your body like right down low, dragging your hand on the ground, actually get like a full board slide on your corners. Obviously, the first thing we address, obviously sliding, is looking at your wheels. So the standard wheels that come on the board are these guys here. So what we call like a polished finished 76A 83mm wheel. You know, they're completely fine for sliding. They do take a little bit more to wear the surface in to, you know, have a good slide on them. But once they're broken in, you know, you can slide perfectly fine on them. We do offer these ones, which are a 76A, same compound, same size, but with a stone ground finish. That means straight out of the box, it's essentially a pre-worn finish on the wheel. It's going to feel a lot more natural for sliding. It's going to feel a lot better, and the board's going to slide a lot easier. And we do also offer these in a 97mm option. So same finish, same compound, bigger diameter. So your other wheel options, you've got your Kegels and your ABEX. So the Kegels are a slightly smaller diameter, a little bit harder compound. They do have a sharper edge on them, which means, you know, while they're brand new, they might actually hold on that little bit better. But once you sort of break in that surface, get them into a bit more worn, you know, they do slide quite well, and they're good to sort of slide on, a little bit more controlled sometimes. The ABEX, you know, they're a nice soft wheel, but they have a nice rounded shoulder. So again, you know, once they're worn in a little bit more, they're going to slide. They have that rounded shoulder, so they're not going to sort of hold on for too long. And you know, you're going to be able to kick them out pretty easily. Another option are our AT tyres. Now, while they're not obviously designed for sliding on the concrete, they are completely slidable on the concrete. Might take a little bit more getting used to, and you know, might take a little bit more practice, but definitely doable. The off-road knobby ones, I find a lot easier to slide than these, like, you know, our standard road ones. You're probably going to find, because of the smaller contact patch, it's going to be easier to break a traction. Biggest downside is they are going to wear out a little bit quicker. Now, our black tyre options might last a little bit longer. They are a slightly harder compound, still just as slidable, straight out of the box. You know, again, it might take a little bit more time to get used to them than a street wheel, but completely doable. Best wheel for sliding on that I've found, straight out of the box, I'd have to go for our stone ground 83s. At the moment, I'm running the purple Kegels just because they're a harder compound. They're a little bit harder wearing, but you know, I find them pretty comparable, but these were still a lot easier to get going on.
If I'm, you know, liking to go for a slide in a street setup, I tend to go towards more the Kegels or the Evolve 97s, as you kind of got that sharper edge. It means that I can kind of hold my turn a bit more and be able to judge my carving style. Another
thing you're going to want to address is your trucks and your bushing setup. Personally, I tend to run them fairly loose when I'm sliding. Just gives you a little bit more lean on the board, and basically lets you get behind and push the board a little bit more to sort of get it out sideways.
In regards to, you know, the tightness of your trucks, I tend to have mine a little loose. Whereas, you know, if you're carving on the flat, you've got that more turning circle. Whereas if you're going downhill or you're picking up a bit more speed, you want to carve downhill, then I tend to tighten my trucks a little bit more.
Sliding obviously being a little bit more dangerous than just your standard riding. You've got a high chance of coming off. We want to protect ourselves. As always, helmet's a must. Elbow and knee guards always recommended, and slide gloves are always a good idea. Slide pucks will stop the gloves from wearing straight into the ground, and it'll protect your hands and stop you from losing too much skin.
I just started doing big donuts, and I made the donuts smaller and smaller to the point where I found where the back wheels started to slide. So find that breaking point, find that point where your back wheels slide out, it'll be a lot easier. Now the more you want to slide, you lean back more, then you push out with your back foot. It'll cause those back wheels to slide out more.
So when you're coming in for your slide, you want to make sure you're nice and comfortable and balanced on the board. As you're preparing to actually make the board slide out, you want to unload the weight from the rear by putting a little bit more on your front foot. Squatting down a little bit like a bit of a crouch will sort of get you behind the board a little bit as you're leaning, and then you can kick with your rear and in one motion, twisting your hips and your shoulders, trying to keep an eye on where you're going as well to make sure you don't lose track of that, and that'll help sort of get the board around while you're sort of pushing with your foot and keeping the weight off the rear. That's how you slide an AT.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this video has been helpful and given you a few little tips how to best slide your Evolve skateboard. And if you've got any videos, please share them with us. We'd love to see them. And remember, #EvolveRiders.